Dude, I have come to the conclusion that there is nothing I love more than being inside the pussy. I tried, man. I tried for so long to be that guy who had this purpose, this grand purpose that made me get out of bed in the morning, that got me excited, that thing that I was obsessed with, that thing that just gets me going. But I'm finally being honest with myself, having been through that, running that gamut for a while, and I'm just admitting that there is nothing better than being up inside my wife's clunge. I'm a horny bastard. It's time for me to own that. I am a horny bastard. I was very ashamed of that for a long time. I didn't know what to do with all this energy. I didn't know how to deal with all this sexual energy. So what did I do? I jumped on Cornhub. I masturbated myself silly. Most nights I would masturbate myself to sleep from the age of 14. Just shooting my shit everywhere. And after all of that, and after going through the process of fully embracing and integrating semen retention, breaking my addiction to masturbating, I've realized that you simply cannot break your addiction to the feminine. You can't. It is impossible as a man to break your addiction to the feminine. It's like trying to say, I want you to break your addiction to the air. It's chemical. It's physics, man. If you have a pair of testicles, if you have a sack, and you're not constantly emptying it, that sack is going to fill up with semen, and that semen is going to take control of your brain in one way or another, because it wants to create. That semen wants to create something. It's gone through this process. Like, this is how the semen gets distilled. You know how you can take almost any kind of plant matter that contains sugar, and you can distill that into a spirit. You can take the essence of any plant and distill it into its most refined and potent form. This is actually the ancient history of spirits that come from plants. They were called the spirit because it's like you've captured the quintessence of that plant. And you can now drink that, and you will get any of the medicinal properties of that plant enhanced to a very high degree because it's distilled. That's the whole idea originally with spirits. They were these tonics back in ye old days, before people started just drinking alcohol to simply get shit-faced. These spirits were medicinal. People actually worked with them. And you see, your semen is a spirit. Your semen is the masculine quintessence. It is the most distilled form of masculinity, of solar power. We are ostensibly the zenith. We are the peak, it could be said, of this physical world. We've got all these different life forms, starting from, some believe that the rocks are alive, the minerals, the mineral kingdom, then we move to the fungi, the protozoa, the bacteria, we move up class by class, species by species, genus by genus, into higher expressions, higher forms of life, higher organizations of life, until we get to you handsome man, Homo sapiens sapiens, the wise Homo, the quintessence, the apex of the animal species. And then within you, within your body, being the peak species of this planet, you then have an even subtler level of organization, a subtler level of refinement going on in your own chemical laboratory. And that's your semen. You are taking the prana, the raw energy from the sun, the food you eat, the water, the impressions you receive through the solar plexus. You are drinking in the finest, most subtle energy from this reality. And you are alchemizing it in your own body every day. The food breaks down. It forms blood. The blood has an even subtler form, plasma. Then there's a subtler form, chyle, C-H-Y-L-E. I learned that off a Ancient Archives video, or it might have been one of those AI videos about semen retention. Anyway, the chyle breaks down into an even subtler form, or it's distilled into an even subtler form, and that is the semen, right? And then in the semen is contained the ojas, which are basically just like pure, distilled, crystallized life force. And the more of these ojas you accumulate over time through not releasing, the more this life force, these ojas, start to circulate around your body, bring a radiance to your face, to your skin, bring a piercing intensity to your eyes, a clarity to your eyes, a charisma, a resonance to your voice when you speak, right? So the semen is the crystallized form of masculinity. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Now, once you get absolutely charged with semen, after you've done your 90 days, your 120, your 150, I'm approaching 250 days now on retention without any conscious release. Toot toot! You know, I've had night releases, but fuck man, I give myself a lot of credit. I've never done this before. You get so charged up with this life force, and then you just become like this is if you're circulating it right. I've been doing a lot of circulation. Recently, I've just readopted my 1 hour per day minimum of meditation. I happen to believe this is one of the strongest ways you can circulate the chi, the life force, the prana. Meditation. It's up there with breath work. Just sitting, just relaxing your whole body. Because when you just sit, you just observe, you just feel. You can feel it now. Because I just got into that state myself. I'm just feeling my body right now. I can feel like tingling in my feet. I can feel just this mild tension in my stomach of like trying to get my message across. And if I just relax that and drop my shoulders, and I sink in a little bit deeper, I become much more present. And now my message starts to resonate even deeper. It's just this process of letting go. You do this for 1 hour per day, bro. You're going to circulate that sexual energy, those ojas. Right, and the more of this that builds up in your body, I feel like I just dropped down an octave, you know what I mean? The more that this circulates in your body, the hornier, my experience, the hornier you become the more polarized you become to this world. What do I mean by polarized? I mean, your masculine gravity just gets so heavy. It just gets so sharp. It's like a sword, like your sword just gets so sharp that wherever you look, it's like reality just starts to open her legs for you. Wherever you look, wherever your gaze goes, reality just starts to spread those legs for you. She's just like, penetrate me. Penetrate me. At last, a man. At last, a pure masculine force to be reckoned with. Please, just fucking take me right now. I'm not just talking about women, I'm talking about reality. The gates, the pearly gates just open for you because you are so grounded. This doesn't happen just through retention. This happens through the circulation of the energy. This happens through meditation, breath, heavy training, alchemy through relationships, through intense, deep relationships with men and with women. You start to become so dense, so heavy. You start to become so charged with reproductive fluid, it starts leaking out of your pores. You start to stink like semen. Bro, sometimes I'll just give my nuts a little scoop and I'll just bring my finger to my nose and just sniff it. And it is so dank. It's so distilled. It's like the thick layer of cream that you get on top of like a bottle of raw Jersey milk. Fresh, raw Jersey milk. And you just got that thick, heavy cream. That stuff is leaking out of my nuts, bro. This is what I'm talking about. And you just become such a horny bastard. But not in the sense of being needy. You become so contained, but so horny, if that makes sense. You're not scampering around trying to sniff oily rags. Like, you're not trying to get a hit from someone or something, but you're just so horny. You're just in yourself, you're just contained in your body. But man, you just want to fuck something. In a spiritual, physical, in every sense of the word, you're just ready to fuck. Man, I have no idea where I was going with this other than to say that I'm just getting progressively more and more horny. Now, a lot of you guys are real worried about eating certain foods, taking certain supplements that make you even hornier, make it hard for you to sleep. I get that. Make it hard for you not to slip up. Make it hard for you not to seek that release, that ejaculatory release. But here's what I want to say to you, bro. I've been taking black maca. I was doing ashwagandha for a while there. I've been taking Potency Plus. It's like this concoction of fenugreek and a couple of different herbs that just get you raring like a stallion, you know what I mean? I've been eating my rare steaks, my rare sirloin, my rare, we call it Scotch fillet down under. Just that creamy, fatty, marbled, red goodness. Just a quick sear on either side. Man, the erections go crazy after you have one of those. Just one steak. It's insane. I've been waking up in the middle of the night. Like, I'll wake up sometimes like 3-4 times per night. And just recently, the last few days, I've been waking up and there's just this full flagpole, like full mast, full, what do you call it? Full flagpole. It's just there presenting, you know, in the middle of my sleep. I'm deep in sleep. Sometimes I'm not even having a dream and I just wake up and there's this post in my bed. Like my bed sheets have become a tent. It's like, wow, how did that get there? And I go back to sleep. And I wake up an hour later and it's like, oh, it's still there. And then I go back to sleep. And then I wake up, you know, in the morning and it's like, it's still there. Bro, my body is just raring. It's fucking ridiculous, but I love it. Because it's showing me this reflection that my whole being is just ready to fuck at all hours of the day. This happens through the day too. Like, I'll just get these boners just pop out of nowhere. You know, so, bro, you have to start working with this energy through meditation. Meditation is so key. And yeah, I do plenty of breath work, but honestly, the breath work is kind of like I treat the meditation like a core fundamental part of the practice now. And the breath work is kind of like a patch job when you get a bit out of control. When you kind of need some first aid, when it's like you're starting to burst out of your own skin, when you're like 10 p.m. lying in bed, eyes wide open, like body just trembling a little bit with energy, like buzzing. The body's just buzzing like a bee in your bed. You just bzzz, 10 p.m. trying to get to sleep. Bzzz. That's when you use the breath work. That'll help your nervous system calm down. That will help you go to sleep. And you do the breath work like so. You can be even gentler. That's usually how I do it these days. Just nice and gentle over a long period of time, 5, 10, 15 minutes. Big breath hold at the end, exhale, breath hold, then big inhale, breath hold, and squeeze. Squeeze that spinal fluid up to your brain. That'll drop you off real quick. That'll just knock you out faster than an extra strong dose of magnesium. That's why I use the breath work. Or when I'm starting to skits out, get a bit too, when the emotions start to just erupt out of the depths of your psyche. That'll happen sometimes. You'll just feel rage. The breath work, very useful in those situations. But brother, what I'm really saying in this message, what am I getting to here? What I'm saying is that I am accepting that I'm an extremely horny motherfucker, and that is a good thing. That is a good. Do not let anyone tell you that being horny is a bad thing. Do not let anyone shame you. Do not shame yourself for that. And at the same time, do not allow this extreme intensity of energy to pull you into those lower habits. Looking at the corn, releasing, playing with yourself, edging too much. I think that a little bit of appreciation for your own gear every now and again is a good thing. A little bit of, gentle caressing, a little bit of playful fondling with an empty mind, simply just being tapped into the sensations. With everything, you find that middle point of balance. But getting yourself into these habits where you're starting to rely on playing with yourself so that you can escape reality, that's That's not where you want to go. You want to find a woman. You want to find a woman. You want to penetrate her without releasing, ever. You want to just start cultivating her like soil. Like the woman represents the earth. The earth represents the woman, the mother, the feminine. And Adam was commissioned to have dominion over the earth and everything in it. And you want to find a woman and you want to have dominion over her, not in the sense of abuse, not in the sense of using her, draining her, not in the sense of taking from her, but you want to start cultivating her. You want to start tending the soil. You want to start working that land, baby. Working that land. You know, like mixing that batter with your wooden spoon. You know, you want to get into that. You want to start working that mortar and pestle, baby. The more you work it, the more you work yourself into your woman deeper and deeper, like kneading that dough. Kneading that dough like you were just going to make the most fucking sumptuous loaf of bread from that dough. The more this energy within you, these ojas, the more they start to transfigure, not just transmute. I'm talking some Christ shit here. Transfigure. Bro, I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head what that word means, but I'm just resonating with the sound of it. Transfigure. The more these ojas, this semen, this raw masculine essence with the added ingredient of the female yoni, the open female heart, it starts to alchemize up to a whole new octave. Octaves are in 12s. You know, you're navigating, as long as you're practicing retention, you're moving up and down this octave, these 12 different steps, but you never break through purely on semen retention. You need the woman. Don't come at me with all this new age bullshit like, I don't need no woman. I'm an independent man, whole and complete unto myself, bish. You're deluded, bro. You came into this world out of a vagina. What makes you think that you can get out of this world, you can transcend this world without one? The key, the gate, is the woman, is the sex. It's the secret. It's the secret of the ages, just coming to us now. Just coming back to us in these last few decades. The age of Aquarius, apparently that's what we're in now. This is the golden age. The golden age is birthed through the reunion of masculine and feminine, the relationship that was shattered. Isildur's sword, shattered by the Dark Lord Sauron. This was always the plan. The agenda was to shatter masculine from feminine. But the blade is being reforged for the king. That's you and I, brother. That's the retainers stepping up. Full energy, full potency, horny as can be. I'm talking about horny levels off the Richter scale. Eventually, you just become so horny that you fuck the whole world. Like, you just start making love to the whole world. That's a Christ. That's a Buddha. This whole reality becomes your woman, and you just start fucking the shit out of her. Just loving her on such a ravenous, deep, just guttural level. that she goes to a whole new level herself. You transform her with your ravaging. That's the kind of level I'm talking about. So stop shying away from this. You are one horny motherfucker. Let that shine. Let this potency just boom take you to the next level. If you want to be part of this, if you want the secret sauce, if you want the full breakdown, this is what I'm sharing in Zion. Come and join the community of brothers. We're inviting sisters into this. We're inviting the male and the female to come together, creating this sacred space where we are diving deep on sexuality, sexual alchemy, the secret. This is the secret. Jump in Zion. The link is below. Godspeed, Kings.